Yeah, yeah, da, da. Anywho, we're bringing your Shvat early. Hulu Hulu 3 days before, 3 days after oral to extend. We live at a time like Shnei Zam Ladis day to do the top boys of two. I give one Rebbe story, I said, but I have another. Give another Rebbe story, some Rebbe stories. On of Yud Shvat, a million Rebbe stories. But, so 1 year, I think I had 2 years. It's 1 year after the other. 1 year, I think, or maybe it was the same year, but I know what happened was I was, my mommy, mommy dearest. So she was sending me a package of like, like a mommy package, right? Clothes, I don't know, whatever. And for whatever reason, these demonic and satanic clippas, screwballs, the mekatekim malai, blocking me like they always looking whatever. I'm not gonna get into it. But for somehow the package didn't arrive, and it was like, I don't know, someone got stuck in the tax center, this or that, or whatever. I think at the time I had some money. I wanted, wine order as well, and wine. But then came Yud, and exactly Yud. I was making. I set up a Farbi. I said, this is schut. One of the secrets. I'll tell you a big secret. Only because only for my love, my ends of love, chulu chulu chulu, to all of you. So. Sometimes you don't have, one thing I saw, maybe one of these skulot or scooter, TikTok rabbis or something, chav gimel, you have chav gimel, say chav gimel, God brings you suda, but sometimes you want a suda, chulu chulu chulu, and you don't have from where to make it or whatever. So set up the table first, have your muna b'tachon and kuchabichu, and Kadosh Baruch Hu wants to give you, see miracles, ma'al teva, chulu chulu chulu. So, this is another inyan, that each and every single one of us, we have to know. Like everywhere we put our kochot and this, there's so much sheker that exists. And we have to understand the kochot that we have. The Riyadz comes and states, if we knew the power of Tehillim, we would never put the Sefer down. The Riyadz is not talking about a Rav Gadol, or he's talking about every single one of us. The kochot we have to bring the Gula. Rebbe comes and brings that if one Jew wants the Gula would already be here. Gula is here because obviously there's more than one Jew. We have to understand the kochot that we have. We don't have to wait for anybody else. We just have to work together. Listen, no matter who we are, where we are, and like the Riyadh states again, and then Yom Yom, the Jew doesn't read the news; he creates news. Each and every single one of us has the power. One parak to Tehillim, we can hafech olamot, change the very fabric of reality. You understand? We have this kochot to put the basic English in place. Itself when we work together, we have this achdut. I tell the story of my mommy because I'm bringing up. One time there was this crazy guy was bothering us. He worked for my father. And he had like a machine gun in his basement, and everybody's scared of him. He's this huge guy, and he come and he bothers, harass us. He come and and run after us. And my mother said, "You know what? Enough's enough. I don't need this guy in my part." My father, it's chesed. His ain't of chesed for 40 years. You have guests, Shabbos guests and guests throughout the whole week. Ain't chesed like Avram Avinu. And so my father's chesed didn't want to Avram didn't want to throw out Yishmael. It took Sarah to throw out Yishmael. Listen to Sarah. Listen to the woman. Listen to the. So anywho, my grandfather, I don't know, people are not gonna like that saying this, but whatever. So my grand, there was always wars. Like everybody has the wars between the parents-in-laws and the daughter-in-law. So we lived underneath our grandparents. So there's wars. And nobody was getting rid of this Meshuggah. Huge Meshuggah, nobody can get rid of him, and everybody's scared of him. Run around, 6'4", this and that, whatever. And but that year my mother said, "You know what? I'm getting rid of this screwball. I'm gonna do, and what she do, she made peace with my grandparents, and when they worked together, a couple of days later, the screwball was gone. Means when we have Achdut Yisrael, Am Yisrael, loved one another, as Achdut Yisrael, it doesn't matter who we are, where we are, in Tel Aviv, Yerushalayim, in Brooklyn, New York, it doesn't make a difference if, London, England, who cares, man, or Tizanabi. No matter who you are, so Rav talking about whether you have a Breslev keep, Besov will be Breslev, Besov will be Chabad, Besov will be a Jew. Chulu, chulu, chulu. Doesn't matter if you have, so as Rav talking, keep Shamayim ala Rosh. You have to know your ain't of kochot, and the kochot you have, that each and every single one of us have, to bring the Gulish Neves Amitis Shav. You just have to know, remember who you are, Simba, chulu, chulu, chulu. When we work together, we learn from my mommy. She worked together, she made peace, and when she made peace, when you make peace and when you have this Achdut Yisrael, anything is possible. The impossible because I'm possible. When Kodesh Baruch sees that we love one another and do for one another and care about one another, then the most impossible things happen. And even our biggest enemies come. Like the Rebbes talks about Parshas B'Shalach, that Para, Kodesh Baruch Para, that he's the one that's so bringing everybody into the Gula, Chulu, Chulu, Chulu. That's one story. So then you have another story. Go back to the other stories. One story is 770. So this is, we'll go back to the first story. The first story is that Yud Shvat came, and basically the Rebbe did Kiryat Yam Suf. Yud Shvat came, doesn't matter. The Rebbe commands, and Pitom came my mama's box out of nowhere, and Pitom the wine got to me, and Pitom other stuff goodies came to me. Meaning, chulu, chulu, chulu. Kochot the tzaddik. And tzaddik has tzaddik emet has. We have to know tzaddik from the deepest state of Golus and pluck us out and bring us to Kuchabrik and Gulish Neves Amitis. The state of Golus to Gula of Knesset Aluf Shalom b'toch Gola chulu chulu chulu. So that's the inyan for all of us to know this. The inyan connected tzaddik emet chulu chulu chulu. And then what's my second story? My second story was that, it's a famous story. One day I was walking by, so I got kicked out of yeshiva, whatever. And so my mom had to send me to the snag yeshiva, Flatbush yeshiva, right? So I had to take the $1 cars in Utica and go all the way towards my base and Kings High, whatever, in this yeshiva. And then I'd come back 8 at night. And one day I was walking by with my Walkman. I caught a guy, give me an awkward eye, a yellow Walkman, Even then I understood Mashiach, yellow, chulu, chulu, chulu. And it's some big guy, 5 times bigger than me, huge guy. Comes to me, yo, Schwitzer, what up? I said, oh man, I gotta get out of here, man. I started walking quick. He's like, yo, man, I'm your friend. I'm your friend, man. What do you think? I'm gonna mug you? He said, if I would have won, I could already killed you. I said, which yeshiva you learned in? A Gemara cup. Okay, I relaxed. I started walking with him. They says, hey. He said, yo. As a yellow Walkman back then. And he says, yo. My batteries don't work in my Walkman. Let me get your batteries. Let me always switch. He said, switch it. So I said, okay, whatever. He didn't kill me. He's a nice guy. My friend, And switch it. Then he turns to me, says, "What? How much you gonna pay? How much you gonna pay for your Walkman back?" I said, "Oh shit." I said. He looked at me. He says. He said I started to get scared. He says, "If you run, Schwitzer, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna grab you. I'm gonna kill you." And what did I do? I started running. I was like, I think I was just bar mitzvah at the time. I was, small with a baggy coat, and then I started running. The guy was like speeding in Gonzalez 5 times big. He caught me in a second. And then I'm underneath. I ran to this parking lot, and underneath, he's like, yo, give me your money, Schwitzer. And I said, I sitting, so, already Shema Yisrael. I turn around. I said, I'm going to punch this guy in the face. He's screaming at the top of my lungs. I scream, I don't have no effing money, you effing whatever. The whole Crown Heights, like a roar. The whole Crown Heights heard me, or didn't hear me, whatever. But the guy at that point, he ran away. He turned around and he ran away. And then I walked out, and I see, where am I? 770 Lefferts, 11 for Arts, and 770. The 770 is the number, is just the number, not the actual 777 Eastern Park, just the number 770. Matzil Chaim, just to know the kochot of 770 and the kochot of the Rebbe and the Rayatz. Chulu, 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 and the kochot of every single last one of us. Chulu, chulu, chulu. Like the inyan, the only difference between we're all shlichim b'kucha brichu, and we're all the shlichim with the Rebbe. We have to understand the difference between shliach and the Mashiach is only one ot. Chulu, 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 otiyot. For the mem and the shin, when the Rebbe comes, it says when we have, and when we use our esek kochot in the shama. That we really, as the Koch Neshama, we want Gula, and we do everything with Gula, and do everything to put the base of Mikdash Shlishi in place, then we're all Mashiach, we're all one Mashiach, Chulu, 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 and das Dinyan, Versteist Dinyan, God bless, Kol HaBracha, Kol HaAm Yisrael, come serve Hashem, Shatapula, Base Mikdash, Kanim Levihim, Shir, Bizmachos, Dav Kabonski, Taj Bekul, Nachampani, Menara, Kol Base Mikdash, Aval, and Vod, Men, Kol HaM Yisrael, Men, Ken, Yotzanam, and Saleved, peace and love, and peace, Yichia Melech, Yichia Ma'akot, long live the queens, the sweet, sweet queens. Amen. L'chaim and Mayim Chaim. And the Baal Shem says when you see water and count the water, say the Baal Shem says if you see water and count the water, it's Siman Brachot. Kol Baruch the Kol HaAm Yisrael. L'chaim v'livacha v'leva. We have a soft and loving heart and love one another like Kucha Brichu loves us. V'chadana me'chalam shakol ne'avavor. May God bless. Sheikh here now. May God bless. Love and give Magul Aschem.